Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. This is the FH5 Update 41 and Update 42. It's officially the holiday season, which means the developers are combining two updates into one, and today we're going to talk about both of them. There's a bunch of new cars, there's a ton of stuff happening out at the stadium, a very fun little bug fix, and of course, a sneak peek of what is coming next month. It's going to be a cool video, so buckle in. Real quick though, before we jump into the updates, it is officially Black Friday, and the AR12 store has merch up to 40% off. You can grab some AR12 Motorsport hoodies or t-shirts, and while you're there, don't forget to pick up an AR12 winter hat. Winter hats are almost sold out, and when they're gone, they're gone. So do not wait too long if you want to pick one of these guys up. There's a link down below. Anyways, let's jump into the FH5 Update 41. We'll start with that, then we'll jump into Update 42, and then I have a couple of thoughts. I think you'll see why. Anyways, let's start with Update 41. This update starts next week. So, in the festival playlist, during week number 1, you can unlock this thing, the 2024 Nissan Z Nismo. The way you unlock this car is actually a little bit different. All you have to go and do, like the Porsche from yesterday actually, is just go and do a seasonal championship. Now, I know what people are going to be saying, because I'm saying it as well. Isn't this just a copy-pasted version of the Nissan Z we've already got in the game? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not exactly copy-pasted because there have been some updates to it. It's got an upgraded engine. This one puts out 420 horsepower. Nice. It's also got some upgraded suspension over the one we've got already in the game and some new bodywork to make it look a little bit different. But the reason I'm even talking about it at all is because the developers confirmed it is getting a Liberty Walk wide body kit. No disrespect to the Nissan Z, I'm sure it's a great car and all, but I think it just would have made a lot more sense if the developers added this body kit to the car we've already got in the game, and instead of just giving us a new car altogether. It's cool, but Anyways, let's move away from the Nissan Z and into the other cars you can unlock during Update 41. Also, during week number 1, you can unlock this thing by getting 20 points in the festival playlist. This is the 2021 Bentley Flying Spur. Yes, the big bad Bentley is officially here. I absolutely love this thing. Now, I know it's not the latest and greatest supercar, but this thing is awesome. I absolutely love the Flying Spur. It is amazing at what it's built for. It is truly the ultimate luxury car with a little bit of sprinkling of performance in there. Let me just read off the spec sheet of this thing because it is wild. It's got 620 horsepower from a W12 twin turbocharged engine with all-wheel drive. It can do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. That is wild for a car that weighs this much. Basically, what I'm saying is if you're running late for a meeting, you're probably going to want a Bentley Flying Spur, because this thing is just, it's an insane car. I really hope it's got some fun engine swaps in the game. I don't know if it's just me, but I've always had some fun experiences with Bentleys in Forza Horizon games. Dating back to, what was it, like FH3 with that Bentley concept car in that game? Just super fun to drive. FH4 had the Bentley Continental race car body kit on it, and this thing is just, it's a cool car. I really like this thing. I know it's different and it's out there and it's not like the usual sports car, but I like it. On the topic of cars that are luxury cars but are also incredibly quick, we can move on to week number 2. Again, you can unlock this car by getting 20 points during week number 2. This is the 2006 Mercedes E55 AMG wagon. If you've been watching the channel for long enough, you already know how much I love the Mercedes wagons, and this one is awesome. It puts out 469 horsepower. It's got a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine. Again, this thing can do 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds or so. It is an awesome car. And I mean, yeah, although the performance of this thing is awesome, I'm just gonna come out and say it and say it's ugly. This generation of Mercedes did not age well, and it's not very good looking. Okay, remember what I said about the whole luxury performance thing? Update 41 is all about the luxury performance, except this next car is a performance luxury car. If we move on to week number 3, again by getting 20 points in the festival playlist, you can unlock what I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think it's the ultimate performance luxury car, the 2022 BMW M5 CS. See what I did there? See what I did there? It's definitely still a luxury car, but it's definitely a performance car first, especially compared to something like that Bentley, for example. Bone stock, though, this thing has 630 horsepower, all-wheel drive. It is an awesome, awesome car. And what actually makes it even better is the developers have already confirmed that it's getting AC Schnitzer parts in Forza Horizon 5. It's getting a front bumper, some rear wing stuff, and some side skirts. It's going to be a fun car to mess around with. I hope it has some fun engine swaps in FH5. Moving on to the fifth and final car in the update 41. In week number 4, you can unlock this thing, the 2014 Cadillac CTS-V Sport Wagon. Again, if you've been watching the channel for a little while, you know how much I love these Cadillac, like, usually sedan sports cars. This is an estate car, and it is awesome. They're super, super rare. Apparently only 2,000 approximately of these things were made, and they are wild. 6.2 liter V8 LS Life, rear wheel drive supercharged engine that puts out 560 horsepower, and the cherry on top, 6-speed manual. Not to mention, these things also had some big beefy brakes on them built by Brembo. They also were ahead of the curve and had magnetic suspension on these things for an American muscle car at the end of the day. That is pretty wild in 2014. However, that's not all for update 41. The developers have added in a new classic cinema outfit. Yay. And they actually have not one, but 2 different stadium makeovers. In week number 1 and week number 3, the developers are going to be bringing back the Winter Wonderland Stadium. And in week number 2 and in week number 4, the developers are bringing back the hockey rink. The last thing in update 41, the developers are fixing the Porsche 911 GT3 RS wheel. Right now in FH5, if you jump into a GT3 RS, you'll notice that the wheels on it are not using the Porsche GT3 logo, like the RS logo. It's using the logo from a Ford Focus RS. People noticed it, called the developers out, and the developers went, ah. And they're fixing it in this month's update, which is kind of sad, but they had to do it. That's update 41, though. Let's move on to update 42, and I'm going to be honest, this one won't take nearly as long. Festival playlist for update 42, we have one new car. In week number 1, so basically the first week of January, I think this car comes out on January 2nd officially, you can unlock the 1965 DeBerti Chevy C10 tire slider. Yes, Brad DeBerti's wildest creation yet is coming to Forza Horizon 5. It is a 6-wheel, 900 horsepower drift car. What makes this thing even crazier is it actually has hydraulic suspension built into the thing that can lift it up or down with 5 inches of suspension travel. I don't know how the developers are going to simulate that in Forza Horizon 5. Maybe they'll just give us like a load of tuning freedom in there, but it should be fun regardless. If you remember way back in the day when the original Mercedes 6x6 was added to Forza Horizon 4, one of the first things I did with that car is tried to drift it. It was a 6x6. I had to give it a go and basically found out it was nearly impossible. Although, yeah, it had a bunch of horsepower, it had so much grip from the 6 wheels, it just wouldn't go sideways easily. I'm very interested to see what the developers have done kind of with the tuning and with like the physics of this car to get it both to drive properly, but also to drift properly. We'll have to see. I'm very interested. Unfortunately, though, that's it for new cars in Update 42. It's a bit of a disappointing month. The developers are actually calling this update the Extreme Horizons update, and although the Chevy C10 Tire Slayer is probably the most extreme car we've had in FH5 in a little while, it's a little disappointing we're only getting one car of this sort of caliber. However, since this update isn't really that great for new cars, for week 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to jump into older Forza Horizon games and check out some of the most extreme cars in those games. Again, though, that's not all for the FH5 Update 42. The developers have actually done another Horizon Stadium makeover. This time, the stunt park is coming back, which I guess is cool if you enjoy driving around there. And the developers added in 4 new build stub locations scattered around the map, so you can go in and create maps and races in new locations scattered around Mexico, which is always great. You love to see it. Last but not least, though, we got a sneak peek of what's coming in Update 43. It's called Midnight Muscle. New cars, new events. The developers also confirmed one feature coming in Update 43, and it's you being able to choose your starting screen. You know how back in the day we had like those retro Horizon openings? We've had the Hyundai openings and so on, like to the game where the game starts up. You can finally go and choose one. As per usual, it's really nice to see the developers listening to community feedback, and that's a really nice feature. I enjoy that. Update 41 and Update 42 are a little bit lackluster, both for their own reasons. Update 41 is the holiday update, and there is no Secret Santa. Although we might have made fun of it back in the day for being rigged and so on and so forth, maybe we made fun of it too much because the developers aren't bringing it back, which it's a little bit disappointing when a feature gets replaced with nothing. We got coal for Christmas this year. And in Update 42, we have only one new car. That's a little bit disappointing as well, especially for an extreme update. The only extreme feeling I'm getting after hearing about Update 42 is extremely let down. You know what will never disappoint you though? Some AR-12 merch. There's a link down below. All right, have a great day. Hopefully Update 43 is a little bit better than these ones because I don't think it could get worse. All right, have a good day.